the key to harmony.
Good day and welcome back to Health Focus with Value Life Dietitians, your go-to space for real talk on health, wellness and everything in between. My name is Yolinda, a registered dietitian with Value Life Centurion. Today we're exploring how breath and movement and rhythm can reconnect us to ourselves in the midst of a fast-paced life. Nutrition doesn't stand alone. How we breathe and move and rest has an impact on how our body absorbs, heals and thrives. I'm joined here today by a special guest, Louise van Biljon. She is qualified as a human movement scientist and specialized in pediatric gross motor development. She is a mom, a brave breast cancer survivor. Really a professional that loves how the brain and body grow, develop and heal. She became intensely interested in breathwork during her cancer journey and is now facilitating individuals, groups, corporate businesses and even high-performance athletes locally and internationally. She is the founder of Caldi and 480. Welcome, Louise.
Thank you, Yolinda, for having me here. It's really nice to share my story and also the background of my science knowledge with your viewers.
Louise, your work includes breath, movement, rhythm, sound. Tell us, how did this lead you to create and begin 480?
It starts with the science, actually. At school, I was interested in how the brain works, and then I went and studied human movement science. And through that, I really love to understand growth through the muscles to the mind and how everything works together. And then just before COVID, I went to Taiwan to explore if my new assessment on toddlers is globally and if it is language free and if we can do it internationally. So I went over to Taiwan and I invested some breathworks to get my body to adapt easier to the new climate and to help the children there. So that was where the breathwork starts, but the science of movement starts much earlier. And COVID arrived and I started to increase my knowledge, and programs on breathwork even helped people with long COVID. And the journey just grew. When I got cancer, I even developed my program more and focusing more on the cancer part in my own body. And now I am doing it as a program for adults, for sports people, for teenagers. And I just love the science and the breath work, to combine that and also to combine it with music and the influence that certain frequencies have on our body. But to start knowing and understanding how this works through science is the most important for me.
Louise, tell me a little bit about your story and your cancer journey.
Yes, the cancer journey was quite intense. When you are in cancer, you don't feel that it's so bad. You just want to survive. But cancer was painful for me because I had a back problem as well. 3 of my lower back vertebrae, the cushions were gone. So breast cancer was extremely painful for me. I was lying in bed, experienced menopause at the age of 43 and couldn't move or stand up. And then I realized, but while I'm in bed, I can just as well use my breath work and start to calm myself, start to energize the cells, fill them with oxygen, and maybe some healing can happen. Well, afterwards I discovered that there did happen a lot of healing, but that was not my main focus. My main focus was to help my body in the pain that I experienced and to help my body to relax in the time that I was. And I really feel that that journey equipped me to help other people who go through cancer. And I want to use that knowledge to guide them, to give them hope, and to help them.
Louise, off air, we spoke and I saw a video where you were ringing a bell. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, that is an amazing goal that you achieve when you finish your radiation. But the interesting part is they don't ring bells for people going through chemo because you don't know what is the route of therapy, of treatment for a person going through a chemo. But once you started with radiation, there's actually a goal where you finish your sessions. So my goal was, or my plan of treatment was 18 sessions, and I made certain goals in necklaces that I wear for each session to count it down. And the oncology department have this bell that you ring with your last session. And they also say that each person's personality come out in the way they ring the bell.
I saw that.
Yes, so some people just ring it once to say, oh, I'm so tired, but this is gone, this is over. Some people bring a crowd and they cheer them. Other people, you will see in the video. I just enjoy that I have all this family and friends walking with me through the journey, that they also need to see the passion and the energy of enjoying life, that you are reaching the next goal. It's not the end, it's just the next stage. Because after that, there was a year of recovering. Cancer don't stop when you are finished with your treatment. Your body was broken down to very low points. But that was one stage. And that was the end of that stage, and that was a celebration. Well, what most people don't know is I actually had the next day a fire festival on my plot to really share it. But yes, we must set small goals and celebrate the new stages.
I can see that it is a very emotional and passionate topic that we are talking about. How does this fit into your calling that God has for you?
Yes, at the stage that I went through breast cancer, I never experienced it as something bad that I did in my past. I experienced it as a journey to form me into this butterfly that I will become. And the knowledge that I experienced through that is to equip me to have empathy with other people, because I walked the walk. Yes. I went through the journey. Yes. So I take that knowledge and that empathy, and I can now understand how difficult it is for someone to just stop and breathe. How difficult it sometimes is to decide that you are so tired, you want to stop and just relax. And that helps me to make 480 a better calling. So where 480 comes from,
I was wondering about that.
It's about 2 years ago. One night I got this vision. In my whole life I think I have 3 or 4 visions, so it's not a very common thing. And I wake up and I know I saw the number 480. Black on a white paper, it's not 4 plus 8 plus 0, it's the total number 480. And I asked my dad, what about this number? What does it mean? How will I know if I get the answer of what my vision was? And his answer to me was, if it comes from God, God will give you the answer. So I just have to wait in patience. But while I wait in patience, I also know that I have to search actively.
Of course, yeah.
But I will know when I know. And before the cancer, I had another vision. Before COVID in 2016, I think, of the sign, a little guy coming in through the gate at our plot, and it was not a man, it was not something I was scared of, and I tried to draw it, and it actually became this sign of the Alpha and the Omega, and it means the beginning and the end. And also, if you go back to Genesis, in the beginning, God said, "Let there be light." And I started researching that, and God said and light both have frequencies, energy. And somewhere where those energies are crossing is the number 480. Wow. My calling is light and sound. I must be the light. Through my voice, I must be the sound. But each other person must also. The beginning and the end starts with breath, starts with light, starts with your calling. So 480 is the name of what I'm doing with the breath work. It comes from my Christianity background, but I prove everything that I do through the science because I'm a scientist.
Of course, yeah.
I'm passionate about movement and human movement and growth and development, how the brain develops, how the muscles develop, how they interact with each other. So I question everything of how and what I do from a science point of view, in believing in my Christian calling, that I must teach people again that your breath has so much power, that your breath can give healing, but that the breath actually is also there to oxygenize your cells, to calm your brain in certain techniques. So it's nothing weird, it's just pure science. And how our body is supposed to move and to heal with higher oxygen levels. There will happen some healing. But I also combine that back to how the child develops, how the brain of the child develops. So in my sessions that I do, the breath work, I always start with midline crossing, how the brain and the muscles must cross the midline of your body to activate the brain and to get your body ready for what is coming. And then certain techniques will help certain other things to happen in your body. And we can explain that through science.
Louise, your course initially started up by helping women recovering and going through breast cancer. But you changed it a little bit, and now almost anyone can do that course, from burnout to weight loss. Tell me a little bit more.
Yes, Yolinda. So through the breath work, I help people to set new goals. And goals are there for anyone to set. If you're in breast cancer, if you're burned out, if you're a sport athlete, you want to achieve something. And if I take that back to the science of child and baby development, and we talk about language, we have to understand that vision or goal setting is just a language of what is going on in the brain and in your mind. For children, they live in the dream world, in theta brain waves, and that is where they can believe that this picture that they draw came alive. So for us as adults, we actually have to struggle to get from beta brainwaves down to alpha brainwaves into the theta brainwaves. And there we can start creating new goals and dreams. So through the breath work, I can actually help anyone to get there. Okay. And then when you are there in the right brainwaves and you start setting your new goals, then you have to start breathing deeper to actually start healing, to feel calmer, to feel that you can achieve that. Now, the interesting part is also that business people do this quite often in interviews.
Okay.
They will ask the person in the interview, what is your 5-year plan?
Okay.
Now that is also goal setting. What is your vision board? But there's more to that than just the easy way to say, I want to be rich, I want to be thin, I want to be happy.
Okay.
There's actually, you have to bring the brainwaves down, you have to energize and oxygenize the body, and then you have to put in the sensory information, like we did with baby stimulation. You have to put in the smell, the visualization, the textures. All your senses has to be part of that. And I get so excited when I start to talk about it. But you actually have to believe that you can believe your own goal, that you can believe that your body is healed, that your body is thin. And then you have to visualize what you're going to do when you achieve that. You have to visualize the hiking trail. You have to visualize the family time or the energetic walk or swim or activity that you're going to do once you achieve the thinner body or the healthy body or the less stressed situation. What are you going to do next after your visualization came true? And then my approach is to thank God for what I did. So I believe that He wants me to achieve that, so that I can help the people around me. So it's then not about yourself.
Yes.
It's about helping other people, but you have to start with yourself.
Of course, you have to be.
Yes, it's like being in
yourself. Yes.
being in an airplane that's falling. You first have to take that oxygen so that you can help the others. So when you are really tired, when you are really on the down points in life, you actually have to stop and work on yourself. And that is possible. You can stop and take a deeper breath, or you can stop and do one of my courses. But then the music just makes it so much more total, stronger experience. Well, this is my handpan, and that is the note A. In all music, when you play with other instruments, they tune the instruments to the same A. Okay, that one. So when you play usually in an orchestra, so they tuned it into 440 hertz. The frequency of the sound of that note is 440. That's also an interesting topic, where it came from. I think it came from around the Second World War, where they want to uplift everyone, but that's not my topic. My topic is, they've shown through science that the frequency of 432 is connected to the frequency of what the earth is vibrating. So grounding and rooting. And because this is not like a guitar that you can tune very often to new frequencies, I've let it been tuned into 432 hertz. So it connects easier and better and on deeper levels with your heart and with the earth. And the sound is just amazing. So while you're listening to some frequencies, they did prove through science that it does help with cell regeneration, cell healing, but it also helps on an emotional level of calming you down. And when you go deeper to basic patterns and not combination of music, then you can actually feel the frequencies and the energy of the notes. So my handpan is tuned into D minor, that's that note. And the layout is a chord D. So for the people into music, you can go and research more about that. But it's just nice and lovely to hear the sound. Can I play for you?
Yes, please, let us hear.
Right, so if I can just say something about the stand, I love to make my own projects to keep myself busy. So I built this one and I put a little pink ribbon there for the breast cancer. And then the logo is there at the front. So you can hear it's a deep sound, almost like a heartbeat. Through my sessions, I also help people to connect with the heart. They have proven that there is brain cells on the outside of the heart, and the frequency of the heart is stronger than the frequencies of the brain. But again, like with toddler development, where you teach a child certain languages, we have to learn again what is the emotions in the heartbeat and what that means to the brain. So I help them to create the new language between heart and brain, and they call it in science heart-brain coherence. So I use this note, the ding, for the heart, and then I also guide them through the breath work that you can breathe in. Does it feel like that? Okay, and then you can breathe out. Okay, but then I also play some music at the end where you can just relax with the music and be quiet. And that's very difficult to be these days. Just be quiet and think of nothing. You can hear it's very repetitive.
That's beautiful.
It is. It speaks into your body. And I also want, with this and with this technique, to help people to, once they went through the course, that they will be able to do the breath work on their own. Even if you are just in the car or before a meeting, that you have the knowledge that we have been born with, to take a breath and to get your body calmer and more focused, and to be ready for your calling. Because my calling is to help you for your calling.
Louise, to take us into the next session, is that the only pattern that you use, or is there a more uplifting pattern that you use?
Well, this was the first pattern I played on my handpan when I got it, but some people say that there's some frequencies that's connecting with your heart, the 5 to 8, but actually it's the combination of all the sounds together, and as it vibrates, you can feel it, and then there's also some notes at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And when it was my mom's birthday, I was sitting in the living room and just started to play this pattern. But your question, is it only one that works? No, it's the frequency of all the notes that can help. the top notes really talk to your heart. It feels as if it fits into your brain. So I like to play the upper note quite often, as it is a frequency of the earth. And it's almost as if when the music stops, you keep hearing that note.
Okay.
Yes.
Resonating. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yes, I can play more. And not everyone will like the same pattern.
Yes.
Yeah.
If we can take everything together now, we'll take the sound and the breath work and movement. Can you just pull it together for us? And just what's your final thoughts? And what is your final thing that you want to tell to the viewers?
Well, it sounds easy, but it's also so difficult. So I want to combine all of these for our viewers to experience and to understand and to trust the science. So we can begin here to talk about small segments of them, but I would also like to invite them to join some of my courses. We will put the link in the subscriptions, and then they can just follow there. But to combine it is, we have to become like children again to get to heaven.
Yes.
And I have the science and the knowledge about the child development, but I'm an adult also. And it's so big question, how can we become child again? And for me, the answer is we have to take our brains to the brain waves of the child. And I can help you to do that through science, through breath work, through music, through visualization, to get into that inner trust and new visions of enjoying life, of trust that there's a future, a day for tomorrow that is good for you. You can become the butterfly in today's life.
Louise, thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Thank you for having me here.
Remember, balanced health is not just about what you see on the surface. It's about breathing deeply. It's about moving naturally. And this all will help your body make most of good nutrition. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time on Health Focus, take a breath and take care.